Welcome back. Great festival of football this. The fourth game already. It seems like the tournament's been going on all week. It's really captured the imagination. A great opening game between Egypt and Libya. A great performance anyway by the Egyptians. A bit of a disappointing one between the Ivory Coast and Morocco, but then Cameroon and Samuel Eto'o. As if the tournament wasn't alight already, well, it really did catch fire with that. It's old against new in our third game of the day from this African Cup of Nations. The Democratic Republic of Congo, their supporters here in their many guises have won this tournament twice, but those victories came in 1968 and 1974, and recently they've done well to qualify against a backdrop of so much going on in that country, but they've done no more than that. Togo, though, come here after the considerable achievement of qualifying for their first ever World Cup. Today for them, as we've heard from Emmanuel Adebayo before this tournament, will be all about proving that they deserve to be here and there in Germany this summer. These two are very much involved in the race to surely finish second to Cameroon in this group, and today will go a long way to deciding that. Two experienced campaigners in charge of these teams as well. Stephen Keshi, the legend of Nigeria, what a player he was, an African Cup of Nations winner, played in 3 finals as well. He's now coaching Togo and has done a great job. And Claude Leroy, who won this tournament with Cameroon back in 1988, was briefly in charge of Cambridge United as well, but now is very much in charge of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Simbas as they're known throughout Africa, against, by the way, the Sparrowhawks from Togo. Both of these nicknames certainly a great deal more imaginative than the Greens of Libya that we saw last night. We're going to take a look at the way that the group stands at the moment after the opening game. Cameroon beating Angola by 3-1, although Angola are certainly not out of the tournament. They look like the sort of team that could give either of these a very good game, and both Togo and the Democratic Republic of Congo will be fully aware of that. And there is the familiar figure at these African Cups of Nations. I reckon he must have been here for as long as we've covered the tournament, getting involved in this wonderful atmosphere in the crowd. So there you have it. Not much to say so far other than what a performance individually by Samuel Eto'o. 3 goals in that 3-1 win. And Cameroon topped the group, but so much more to come. After this game, Togo will play Cameroon on Wednesday, and Democratic Republic of Congo will play Angola. That will be key as well. They won't mind Cameroon winning the group. They're all fighting realistically for second place.
And back on the way, just in favor. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, it's the Democratic Republic of Congo fans who are making all of the noise here. Country that's had serious problems over the years. It's such a template almost for countries in Africa. Civil unrest and corruption rife, but they haven't missed an African Cup of Nations since 1992. And there is the familiar figure of Claude Leroy, legendary coach in these parts, now coach of the Democratic Republic of Congo. An awful lot of pride. Emmanuel Adebayo has talked of the pride in proving that Togo deserve to go to the World Cup. They're going, but they want to show that they deserve it. And the Democratic Republic of Congo, well, after such a dreadful performance in the last African Cup of Nations, embarrassing really, well, they want to prove that they are still a footballing force within African football. Delighted to say that, yet again, the former Ipswich Town and England defender Russell Osman is alongside me for the evening games, as he will be right through this African Cup of Nations. And I guess today, from a Premiership point of view, first of all, it's about Leroy and, well, can he recover from the disgrace of last time when he was sent off and missed the final game, and also about Emmanuel Adebayo. I know that a lot of people in England won't have seen a lot of. He's moved to Arsenal, and this is a chance for him to prove himself as well.
Yeah, well, Adebayo, I think that, you know, lots of people don't know much about him, and it's a great opportunity for him to stake his claim as a really top quality international player and show the world why Arsenal have taken him to the new stadium that will be in action next season. And again, Leroy, he's probably quite happy that he's out there at the moment, because I think Portsmouth got a right thumping today, 5-0 from Birmingham.
Yeah, I wonder if he knows that. Probably not, unless the old text message had been flying, although then again it's not the sort of result that you'd send with any kind of pride. As you can see, the Democratic Republic of Congo, captained by Leroy, and
he's a bag of tricks, Dave, isn't he? You know, you never quite know what you're going to get from him. You won't get a straightforward performance. He can do the unexpected. Like I say, he's a very talented player, got a real bag of tricks, and if he can keep his temperament, I'm sure he's learnt a lesson from the last time he played out here a couple of years ago, where you say let himself down a little bit.
Well, it was back chat, I remember, to the referee. I also remember Roger Lemaire, the coach of Tunisia, just doing him so many favours because Loa was going to do something serious to the referee. And I remember Roger Lemaire, coach of the opposing team, actually took Loa through to the dressing room and possibly saved his international career, and I'm sure that Loa remembers that. The other player apart from Adebayo, who strangely for a centre forward wears number 4, that you should instantly look out for Togo, is Sheriff Toure Maman, who plays for Metz in France, the number 10, and he really is a number 10. He'll be the playmaker for Togo, and in his own way he's as key as Adebayo, because the big difference between the two Premiership stars here is that Loa can win games on his own. Adebayo is a central striker, a tall man, good in the air. He needs the service, and it's going to be Sheriff Toure Maman's job to supply him. And as for the Democratic Republic of Congo, well, not too many names with which you'll be familiar. Loa obviously wears the number 9 shirt. Shabani Nonda would be the other one, but he, unfortunately, the Roma player, is injured. Herita Ilunga, a regular for Saint Etienne, key for them at the back. Well, we are ready to start in this Cairo Military Academy Stadium. Togo will play against France in the World Cup. I can tell you that Bruno Martini, the assistant of Raymond Domenech, is here to watch this game. Domenech will be watching their next game as well. They're fully aware that Togo will potentially surprise people, and they want to be right on top of their game. So 2 fresh campaigns start in this African Cup of Nations. We've talked so much about this tournament, and there has been so much talk in Africa and around European football, that each game, well, provides us with a fresh story, a fresh box of tricks, just how these teams are going to perform, particularly the Democratic Republic of Congo, who on their day can be absolutely anything, and there's a certain joy in watching them. Both of these teams potentially are semi-finalists and further in this tournament, but both could go out in the first round as well.
Yeah, they could do. I think we've got to expect the unexpected. The side that can, I think they're going to be able to improvise, but at the same time keep the discipline. They tend to play with a very free spirit, you know, and they're all good athletes. It's the team that can keep the discipline at the back and be creative going forward.
Won't be hard to spot Shea Adebayo, the new Arsenal signing. He's an absolute beanpole up front for Togo. And that is Herita Ilunga of Saint Etienne, currently 8th in Ligue 1 in France, and he is a regular. And there's Biscott Mbala, who plays for Yverdon, one of the smaller teams in Switzerland. It's often rather lazily commented that a lot of African players play in European football, and of course the star names, Eto'o and Martins and Drogba, we know all about, but there are a lot of players from these less fancied African teams who play for very small clubs. Wait till we see South Africa against Guinea tomorrow. South African coach Ted Dumitru, the Romanian, has named 7 uncapped players, and there's 1 player in his squad who's expected to start who's never played a first division game even in South Africa, taking a risk or two, and that tends to be the way, and it makes this a glorious festival that it can be. Long chase forward, but mopped up pretty comfortably in the end by Bokeze. These games do take a while to settle into a rhythm, but talking of a rhythm, the constant backdrop of noise you can hear. I know we have noise in European football, but those of you who've watched the African Cup of Nations regularly over the years here on Eurosport and British Eurosport will be aware of almost how the players are controlled by the beat of the drums in the background, particularly between 2 of the West African nations like this.
It's the colour, and the colour combined with the noise. I mean, it just adds to the atmosphere of you know, a great spectacle that's going on the pitch. You can look up from the pitch anytime you like, and you see smiling faces, and you listen to the music, and you say the rhythm of the drums. Just wonderful.
Tell you what, folks, both Russell Osman and Brian Hamilton could be fairly dour sitting alongside you in the commentary box, but during this tournament, smiles from ear to ear all the way through. Something to enjoy.
Oh, we do definitely enjoy it, Dave. And it's a lot of the time it's nice to sit down watching a game knowing that you're probably going to see something that you haven't seen before. Really got to expect the unexpected. Like that hairdo.
First chance for Kossi Agasa to come and claim. The Metz goalkeeper, who has been the Togolese custodian for some time. He's one of the goalkeepers that I've enjoyed over the years. He very good shot stopper, and it was a great catch as well. But you talk about expect the unexpected.